Welcome to the video, guys. We have yet more stories that in normal times would be jumped on by the media to call out this government for policy choices that it's made. This they haven't done, despite the fact we all know they caused the disasters that we're seeing now. As you know, there has been complete radio silence from most of the media when it comes to calling out this government for anything substantial. It seems they only ever call out the government for things that they don't really care if the public knows, which is pretty funny if you ask me. I've said it before and will say it again no doubt, but these same media spunk trumpets running damage control for Boris Johnson now called him a dictator just 2 years ago. He prorogued Parliament and they screamed from the rooftops because the 2019 Remain of Parliament had just lost its power to stop Brexit. Now that he becomes King John Boris, the globalist puppet dictator, they all run damage control for him literally daily. It would be shocking, but it's the media after all. Them, alongside a very few select others, are the only people lower than a politician to much of the public at this point. Let's be honest, they ain't called scum media for nothing, are they, after all? And actually, polls I ran with viewers today and before now show people distrust the media more than politicians, which is saying something given the year that we have had. But the stories I want to talk about today is the fact that thousands more people are dying than should be at this time of year. The Telegraph are reporting thousands more people than usual are dying, but it's not from the Rona. Yet thousands of people are dying from other things because in life there are things that actually kill you. Some evil lunatics might have ignored that for the past 18 months, but it is a reality after all. It goes on, a second health crisis is quietly emerging in Britain. Since the beginning of July, there have been thousands of excess deaths that were not caused by the Rona. According to health experts, this is highly unusual for the summer. Well, no shit, Sherlock, you didn't need to tell me that. But it's not quietly emerging, it's just being ignored by the media, as I said. It goes on, although excess deaths are expected during the winter months when cold weather and seasonal infections combine to place pressure on the NHS, summer generally sees a lull. This year is a worrying outlier, like I said, no shit, Sherlock. According to the Office for National Statistics, since July 2nd there have been 9,619 excess deaths in England, of which 48% were not caused by the Rona. So 48% were not from the Rona, even using the government's piss-poor data, and this is just from July, not even the entire year so far. Do the sheeple need any more evidence of the complete shit show this government is bringing down on this country through lockdowns and 24-hour fear porn among other things? Remember though, they are doing all this to save you, yet more people are dying than usual and in the summer, which even the experts say is strange. Now they list some reasons here with notable absences that shall not be named lest YouTube go full North Korea on my arse. But it states data from Public Health England shows that during the period there were 2,103 extra death registrations with heart disease, 1,552 with heart failure, as well as an extra 760 deaths from strokes and aneurysms, 3,915 with other circulatory diseases, it states. Acute and chronic respiratory infections were also up, with 3,416 more mentions on death certificates than expected since the start of July, while there have been 1,234 extra urinary system diseases, 324 with cirrhosis and liver disease, and 1,905 with diabetes. Alarmingly, many of these conditions saw the biggest drops in diagnosis in 2020 as the NHS struggled to cope with the pandemic. Yes, millions still cannot see a GP because we have had to save the NHS, which is now in more shit than it ever was before. Now obviously, not once does the Telegraph mention even the slightest possibility that something else could be contributing to this year's excess deaths that we are seeing. Especially as it's in the summer months when usually this sort of shit just doesn't happen, like they even admit during the article as I read. I have read through this article a good few times now, and literally nowhere does it state that anything outside of the lockdowns caused this, which yes, it would have played a massive part in doing. How big a part is unknown, and if the media and government has their way, it will likely never be known, I am willing to bet. Either way though, this number is only going to keep going up, so I'll keep an eye on it and cover it any other time I hear anything about it. Now, on top of this, we also have chemotherapy apparently being rationed because of staffing issues, with Boris Johnson likely planning to mandate no jab, no job for the NHS soon. Like I said, it's a complete shit show waiting to happen, or should we say happening now. It's the frog in boiling water, it's just warming up and we are literally the frog.